The splash guard and mud flap are securely mounted and they're not cut or broken. If I had a tire gauge, I would check this tire for the proper inflation. The inner and outer casings of the tire are free from abrasions, bruises, and cuts. The tire is worn evenly and the tread depth is no less than 4/32 of an inch. The rim is securely mounted, it's not cracked or broken, and there are no illegal welds. All of my lug nuts are present and tight. If they were loose, you would see signs of rust. The hub oil seal is securely mounted, it's not broken or leaking. If it were leaking, you would see oil inside the rim. The brake drum is securely mounted, it's not cracked or broken. The brake linings are not worn too thin and they're free from grease and oil. The brake chamber is securely mounted, it's not broken or leaking. The brake hose is securely mounted, it's not cut or leaking. The slack adjuster and push rod are securely mounted, they're not cracked or broken, and the push rod will not move more than 1 inch when the brakes are released. The airbags are securely mounted and they're not cut or leaking. The shock is securely mounted, it's not broken or leaking. Airbag mounts and shock mounts are securely mounted and they're not cracked or broken. The torque arm is securely mounted and it's not bent or twisted. The pitman arm and drag link are securely mounted and they're not bent or twisted. Would you follow me to the rear, please? I would inspect the splash guard and mud flap just like I did in the front. If I had a tire gauge, I would inspect both tires for the proper inflation. The inner and outer casings of both tires are free from abrasions, bruises, and cuts. Both tires are evenly worn, and the tread depth on both tires is no less than 2/32 of an inch. The bud spacing is free from any foreign objects. If there were something lodged between the tires, I would remove it for the safety of pedestrians and other vehicles. I would inspect the rim and the lug nuts just like I did in the front. The axle seal is securely mounted and it's not broken or leaking. If it were leaking, you would see oil inside the rim. I would inspect the brake chamber, the brake hose, the brake lining, the brake drum, the slack adjuster, and the push rod just as I did in the front. I would check the torque arm just as I did in the front. The drive shaft is securely mounted to the coupling and it's not bent or twisted. The frame is securely mounted and it's free from excessive rust, illegal welds, and bent cross members. I would inspect this airbag and the airbag mounts, this airbag and the airbag mounts, this shock and the shock mounts, just as I did in the front. Would you follow me to the rear, please?
Yes.